Hi all, we welcome you all to another section of our waste management training series. Here in this video we are going to discuss about how to convert or biodegradable kitchen waste into compost which may be used for gardening and household vegetable production. For converting our kitchen waste into compost we must follow these steps. We should collect our kitchen waste which is drained of from any liquid content. While collecting the waste we can use a steel strainer like in the picture, in order to enable draining of any liquid from kitchen waste. If needed we can collect the peels of vegetables and fruits separately. We Pelgreen Biotech are trying to help people with this composting process by providing them composting buckets, Pelgreen Composorb and Biorakshak liquid. Initial cost for this whole set is approximately 2,100 rupees, and recurring cost for Composorb is approximately 270 rupees for 2 months. Now let's have a look at how to use a Pelgreen compost bin. Pelgreen compost bin set contains 1 bag of Composorb, which is sufficient for filling 2 bucket bins. It's having 2 sets of valves used for leachate collection. 1 bottle of Biorakshak, which is used to prevent maggot formation, 2 buckets for composting, each of them will be sufficient to compost the waste generated for 25 to 30 days in normal course, 2 bottom nets to be added into the bucket to cover the bottom valves and their top lids. The top lids have holes for air passage into the bucket. Air passage is necessary to facilitate the composting process. The holes on the lid are protected with nets for preventing insects entering the bin and thereby avoiding the risk of maggot formation. Now we can try to learn how to fix these components. We have to attach the bottom valve by screwing it tightly into the hole provided at the bottom of the bucket. We can use our hands or some tools to tighten the valve. It should also be tightened from inside using a socket to make sure it is not loose and leak-proof. If leachate comes out there is chances of formation of maggots outside the bin so it should be tightened properly. Once the bottom valve is fixed we can place the bottom net above it. Bottom net also have holes in it for percolating the leachate into the valve. It should be placed upside down so that it covers the valve and helps to avoid clogging of the valve. When we are finished with fixing the bottom net, take 2 handful of Composorb and put it into the bucket. Spread it over the bottom lid so that it covers the bottom lid. Pelgreen Composorb is an aerobic composting agent developed from lignocellulosic materials like core pith, palm leaves, areca nut husk, hay etc. When the bottom layer of Composorb is spread properly, we can put our first day's kitchen waste uniformly above this layer which is drained off from any liquid content using a strainer or colander and it should be completely covered with a thin layer of Composorb. You can repeat this in the next day by adding the waste and covering it with Composorb, and the bin should always be covered with its top lid in order to prevent maggot formation. The leachate can be collected from the daily to minimize the moisture content inside the bin. The increased moisture content does not favor composting and may also lead to maggot formation. Since the leachate is nutrient-rich it can be used as a fertilizer for plants. Once the bucket is filled close the top lid and keep it for about 25 to 30 days to continue composting. After 30 days the waste in the first bucket will be completely converted into compost. The compost formed has an earthy smell. Repeat the cycle for completely converting your kitchen waste into compost and making our home a clean home. There are some important points remember while filling the composting bucket. Do not put any liquid waste to the bucket. Only solid part of the kitchen waste should be added to the bucket. The bucket has to remain closed at all times. If not closed, insects will lay eggs on the waste that can generate maggots. In case of maggot infestation, Pelgreen Biorakshak may be sprayed. Do not add any non-biodegradable materials like soap, paste, shaving cream, chemicals, syrups, antibiotics etc. to bucket bin. For more details please visit our website www.pelicanbiotech.com.